Hey guys, it's Cassie here again. Welcome to another video review. So today I'm reviewing the Microsoft Pro Intellimouse gaming mice. So this is actually the two new IE3 refreshes from Microsoft. And when I first heard about this, I was super excited about it because the shape and the mouse, or the classic one, was actually one of my favorite of all time. A little bit of history of actually this shape and this the Intellimouse IE 3.0. So it was first released in 2001 and was very, very revered amongst Counter-Strike pros and Counter-Strike players because of its ergonomic shape and its sensor at the time. It was really second to none. Then came the IE3 2006 refresh, so they put like a silver kind of a matte or a little bit of a glossy kind of finish to it. I have a copy right here, and it's actually one of my favorite mice, but because of the sensor I guess limitations, it only had 400 to 450 DPI, so it wasn't that great for RTS gaming. In 2017, so they actually brought it back with the Intellimouse Classic. I bought a copy and I actually really liked it just because they upgraded it up the sensor, but it used the blue track sensor. It wasn't that great for gaming. So what they did now was to put a PixArt sensor in this and really upped all the firmware and made this a modern day gaming mouse. So I'm really going to be doing a very quick update comparison and refresh review of this. I'm not going to go into all the details of what I think about it, etc., 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 but it's just a overall snapshot. So to start off with the price, this is actually priced at 399 renminbi. So this is currently only released in China and Taiwan. Some people overseas have bought it. This comes to about $59 US. So compared to the classic Intellimouse, which is a $39.99, it's a $20 uplift compared to that. So the big question is it worth it? So I think for $59.99, this makes it a very, very competitive price point for such a good gaming mouse. And I'll proceed to explain why. It really packs a punch. In terms of the specifications, the main thing, the biggest upgrade I think over the classic IE 3.0 and in fact the classic Intellimouse from 2017 is actually the sensor. It uses a PAW 3389 Pro MS sensor, which is co-developed with PixArt just for this. So it is one of the top line sensors. I'm not going to post too much of the gaming tracking here, but definitely it points very, very well. It tracks very well. Goes up to 16,000 DPI. I bet most people won't really be using that much. It packs 12,000 frames per second, 400 IPS, and also has ARM 2D, D2FC, F7N switches inside. So in terms of a general upgrade of all the hardware inside, this makes it a very, very competitive gaming mouse. So this is something that I've seen many gaming companies have been doing recently, especially Logitech, especially Razer. Logitech, they've been refreshing all their old line of mice, especially you've seen their MX518 Hero sensor. They've done with their 502. I'm sure they're going to do it with many more. So Razer have done this with the Death Adder as well. They've re-released the Death Adder shape over and over again. So I think it's a matter of time before really Microsoft packed a new upgrade and refresh, gaming refresh into IE 3.0. So I think now all we're waiting for is actually the IO 1.1 refresh and also a wheel mouse optical refresh, which would be very, very sick, but I don't know if we're going to see that. A little bit in terms of the dimension of the sound. If you've never used the IE 3.0, it's 132 by 69 by 48 millimeters, so it's a fairly large mouse for the right-handed gamer. Very ergonomic. It's a bit for larger-handed people, so this is really one of the larger mice out there. My hand is 90 centimeters from the tip to the base, so I find this mouse very, very comfortable for a palm grip. And in fact, I play mostly Dota, and now given with the upgraded or the higher DPI, I do use this in some sort of a claw/hybrid grip, palm grip fashion, and I really, really like that. So another thing to really mention about this new Pro release is actually the color scheme. Well, the old IE 3.0, it came with the 2001 version was, I think it was like a silver color. This one's 2006 was much more of a darkish gray color with the side buttons being in silver, and the classic Intellimouse is actually just a matte gray. It's not a little bit of mattish, darkish gray color, and you have the Pro versions. It comes in two different shades. One is the white to silver kind of gradient shade. One, it goes from a silver to a dark, very, very dark gray gradient shade. So I really like this. It give it a better looking feel. I personally really like this white to silver one. It reminds me a little bit of the Legends series version of the IE 3.0 back in the day, but now it has a 2018 refresh, so I'm really digging this mouse. A little bit about a couple things, the scroll, the buttons, and the cable. In terms of the scroll, the old IE 3.0 actually rattled quite a lot. I don't know if you can hear this. The scroll button really rattled a lot. The side buttons rattled a lot. It wasn't very firm. And the classic Intellimouse and also the Pro MS, they definitely made it much more stiffer. Stiff to the extent that it doesn't rattle, but I wouldn't say it's super stiff. The scroll wheel, it still glides very smoothly. I'll probably make a sound test video very, very soon. In terms of the buttons, clicks like any ARM clicks, if you've used the old IE 3.0 before, pretty much the same. It should be a very, very similar feel. In terms of the cable, they upgraded to a braided cable, different from the one from 2006, and also the classic Intellimouse, which also uses a kind of rubber cable. But most people think that braided cables can be very, very stiff, such as seen in the G502 very infamously. The Pro, I think the cable is it's not too bad. It's braided. If you use a mouth spongy, your cable would actually work quite well. Or you can also try to do a paracord upgrade or otherwise. I haven't tried it myself, but this is just the comment on the stock cable. I think lastly, I want to just talk about the firmware, because I think this is the part where Microsoft, I really love the Intellimouse, the IE 3.0 from 2006, the old classic one. But you couldn't just do much with the firmware because there really isn't that much. You can really adjust the DPI, you can program any of the buttons. All that is now existing in the Microsoft and I think firmware. It's called the mouse and keyboard software or something. I forgot the exact name. You can adjust actually all the buttons programmable, the DPI, acceleration, angle snapping. Very cool. You can actually adjust the color, the very, very back. By default, it's white, but you can pretty much set it to any color you want, in blue, black, even purple, yellow, whatever you want, you got it. So it makes it very, very cool upgrade to modern. So overall conclusion on the Intellimouse Pro. So do you think it's worth it? The 2018. Finally, I think Microsoft are doing something just to bring it back, and I think it's very, very popular and giving the trend of gaming and the trend of increase of gamers who are buying gear. I think it's a very, very good upgrade, and I love the upgrade that they've done to just compete with Logitech, compete with Razer, to upgrade such a very, very classic shape. So I always say that with gaming mice, the most important thing is actually just comfort. A lot of times you're just using it for work, for home, and the more comfortable you have the mouse, the more you want to play it and the less your hand actually cramps. So even though with the IE 3.0 it was 450 DPI, but I just still love to use it or try to use it for gaming, even though with the low DPI. Now with the upgrade, I'm using this as my main driver at work and also at home for gaming for quite some time. So hope you guys enjoyed that video review. I haven't made videos in a very, very long time, so went on a kind of a hiatus since there weren't that many good releases, and I had some other side projects which I was working on, and it's kind of a self-discovery, which I'll make another review just to talk about. But if you like that, hope you if you want to support, you can subscribe, like the video, and also the best way to support is actually just to as you all know, I sell mouse feet, so you can either visit my eBay store at storesebay.com/itactech, or actually my web store at itactech.com, which I've recently refreshed both the store design, so it should be easier to navigate all the new mouse feet. Hope you guys really like that. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you guys soon.